Those were some scenes at a recent school board meeting in southern Ontario. Some attendees in Peel region were shouting Islamophobic slurs and ripping pages from the Quran. They were protesting a 20-year policy allowing Muslim students space to pray on Fridays. You may have heard one woman, a parent named Christina Dixon, standing up to them. Christina Dixon joins me now. She's just west of Toronto. So, Christina, we just saw the video of you jumping up during what seemed like a pretty tense situation. Can you take me back to that moment? What compelled you to intervene the way that you did?
I don't know if there's anything specific that compelled me to stand up and do my best to speak against what was happening. I stand for love and acceptance and peace and the freedom for people to be exactly who they are. That's how I was raised. That's the community I was raised in. And what I was experiencing and seeing around me just was the opposite of everything that I believe in and have been taught my entire life. It was shocking. And there just came a point when I could no longer be silent in the middle of all of it.
What shocked you and upset you the most about what was happening?
It was a combination of everything. It was what was being said, which I prefer not to repeat. I think that the words that were yelled and hurled at myself and at the school board, but more specifically at an entire community of Muslim people, should not, come out of anybody's mouths other than those that it did on that day. But with what was being said, with the anger and the hatred that it was being said with, when I saw that the Quran was being torn apart and thrown everywhere, it just, I knew at that point that, I couldn't do nothing about that.
And so then what happened? So you said, tell me a little bit about what you were saying to the people that were ripping up pages of the Quran and hurling Islamophobic comments.
In the moment, I didn't really know what I was saying. I think I just knew I needed to say something. I wanted to do my best to just be a louder voice than theirs. Mm-hmm. I wanted to make sure that they knew that what they were saying would not go unchallenged. And I just couldn't remain silent. I didn't have any particular points that I felt I needed to get across, or, I wasn't prepared for anything like this to happen. When they started screaming shame on you and shame, I just was overwhelmed with the irony of that, because I just felt that the real shame was in what they were doing and what they were saying, and I needed that to be heard by them.
And it seemed as though they were saying shame on you to the
board.
To the board, who were just, they have a policy where they provide some space for Muslims to pray on Fridays. So the people were upset about that?
That is my understanding. Mm-hmm. I wasn't there to participate in that conversation. I wasn't there with any knowledge of any issues around that policy. So it came as an incredible surprise to me that this was an issue for anyone. As you said, I believe this policy's been in place for 20 years. Mm-hmm. So it really, it was unexpected for me and the people that I was there with. So, and yeah.
So what happened next? Because we've shown a clip of a video that someone who was there took, recorded this on his phone. So then what happened after you were in this sort of shouting match with these people, and you were trying to, tell them to stop, I guess, to stop, their yelling and to stop making these Islamophobic comments. What happened after that? Did they leave? Did security take them out, or did they stop?
It went on for quite a while. Eventually, the board was able to have the room cleared. Police and security were on hand and did clear the room. They went quietly for the most part, but they did stand outside of the boardroom in the halls and listen to the remainder of the meeting. Myself and the women that I was there with were allowed back into the room, as well as others who had delegations up to be heard in front of the board. And we stayed just for our own delegation and left shortly after that. A friend of mine made sure that we had security and police available to escort us to our cars to ensure that we got back to our cars safely. And that was pretty much the end of it for us.
The reason why we're talking to you today is that this happened a week ago, but you've been speaking out about this today, so that's why we're talking about this today. What do you want people to take away from this story?
Stand up. There is too much love in this world for us not to organize ourselves in a peaceful way against this hatred. And we have to be louder than them. We have to challenge them. We have to give them space to come to us so that they can learn and understand that, hatred is never the way. And it's hard work, but we have to individually do what we can. No one is optional. And we're all brothers and sisters in this human race, and we need to start treating each other that way.